Hi, today I want to talk to you about spiders. Spiders are a pretty cool animal. 8 legs. We know their songs. But they have a job of making a web, grabbing mosquitoes and flies. They're colorful. They're furry. They teeny tiny, or they could be really big. Just depends on where you live. But we all know the Itsy Bitsy song. Itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed that spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. So the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again. Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet, eating her curds and whey. And along came a spider, sat down beside her, and scared Miss Muffet away. Miss Spider's tea party. All kinds of bugs on that picture. One lonely spider sipped her tea while gazing at the sky. She watched the insects on the leaves and many flying by. If I had friends like these, she sighed, who'd stay a while with me, I'd sit them down on silken chairs and serve them cake and tea. Two timid beetles, Ike and May, crept from the woodwork that same day. But when Miss Spider begged, "Please stay," they shrieked, "Oh no! Dash away!" Three fireflies flew inside the night, their spirits high and their tails alight. They spied the web and squeaked in fear. "We better get away from here." The little trio did not feel they'd care to be Miss Spider's meal. 4 bumblebees buzzed by outside. "Please come to tea," Miss Spider cried. The 4 ignored her swaying there. She waved a tea towel in the air. She took a cup and tapped the glass. Then one bee spoke to her at last. "We would be fools to take our tea with anyone so spidery." Within the shadows of the room, just peeking from behind a broom, 5 grinning faces bobbed and peered. Miss Spider smiled. Her heart was cheered. Descending for a closer look, she danced into the gloomy nook, but sadly found those jolly mugs belonged, alas, to rubber bugs. Some ants strode in, they numbered 6. But ants with spiders will not mix. She brewed them tea from hips of rose. The proud platoon turned up their nose. A fine bouquet concealed its prize of 7 dainty butterflies. Miss Spider watched from the wall, was not aware of them at all. The tea table was set for 8, with saucers and cups and silver plate. The cakes were fresh, the service gleamed, yet no one would arrive, it seemed. Her company in no demand left her a cup for every hand. Nine spotted moths, kept safe and warm in shelter from the thunderstorm. They stood beneath an open sash and watched the jagged lightning flash. Miss Spiders dropped down on a thread, a silver tray above her head. She hoped to please them, but instead they flew away in mortal dread. They were so scared. They've left me all alone, she cried. She dabbed her eyes and sadly sighed. It's plain no bug will ever stay. Her tears splashed down upon the tray. Ten tiny steaming cups of tea were perched atop her trembling knee. She sipped and sobbed, then heard a cough, and turned to see a small wet moth. A fragile thing so soaked by rain, his wings too damp to fly again. She smiled and took a checkered cloth to cloak the frail and thankful moth. They talked and snacked on tea and pie until his tiny wings were dry. Then lifting him with tender care, she tossed him gently into the air. The moth told Ike, then Ike told May, who went from bug to bug to say, there's no reason for alarm. She never meant us any harm. So later on that afternoon, assembled in the dining room, 11 insects came to tea to share Miss Spider's courtesy. 12 tender violets in a vase presented at Miss Spider's place, set by her chair, so neatly spun. She munched the blossoms one by one. Her friends were glad to watch her feast upon the floral centerpiece. It was a great relief to see she ate just flowers and drank just tea. Miss Spider's reputation grew. Before too long, her hostess knew each bug would crawl or hop or flew, and all their lovely children too. The end. I hope you enjoyed that book. I love using my imagination, and to think a spider can have a tea party with bugs, that's pretty cool. What have you been using your imagination for? I'm sure you've been busy. I'll see you soon. I love and miss you all.